Hello and welcome back. I am Daniel, and in this video, along with the rest of the videos in this section, we will address a popular request, which is how to implement, design, and think about a solution to the homework assignments that we've given you at the end of Skills Vault Part 2 and Part 4. In this particular video series, we will address the first homework assignment, the file system assignment. And first of all, I'm going to give you a small demo of how the assignment is going to look like. And in the rest of these videos, we're going to implement the whole assignment from absolute scratch. Now, the reason why we wanted to do that is that the homework assignments themselves are pretty significant, they're pretty big, and they're open-ended so that you can expand and improve upon your code. Now, we understand that some parts of the assignments are quite challenging, so that is why we started this video series. In particular, let's talk about the file system assignment, and in this particular video, I'm going to show you how the assignment looks like and what functionality we're going to expect in the solution that we're going to provide. So here I have an IntelliJ project that I've already completed. We are going to write a very similar solution to this one in the videos that come after this one, but here I want to show you how it all looks like. So the purpose of this homework assignment is for you to implement a virtual file system, the kind of file system that you encounter in your command line. If you use Mac or Linux, this is probably very, very familiar, and we're going to implement a virtual in-memory quote-unquote file system so that you can familiarize yourself with immutable data structure. So here in this assignment, we exercise the basic Scala functionalities and the object-oriented paradigm in Scala. So here we will stress on immutable data structures, and we will manipulate and create our own data structures as we progress with this homework assignment. Now, this assignment and this video series assumes that you've already watched the first two sections with the Scala basics and the object-oriented basics in Scala. If you've watched Skills Vault Part 1 and Part 2, that's also very, very useful. So make sure you watch these videos first. And we also assume that you know how to implement your own collection in Scala. If you've watched the list video, we get into how to implement your own collection in Scala with a few functionalities so that you are already familiar with an immutable collection. We are going to implement some more complex data structures here, so make sure you've watched all the previous videos before you start on with this one. Also, this particular video series is designed so that you can actually code along with me so that you can see the results for yourself in your own development environment. So make sure you do what I do. So open an IntelliJ project, write code as I'm writing. This video series will also contain interspersed explanations of how and why we approach the solutions the way that we do. And in the end, we're going to obtain a very similar solution to this one that I'm going to show you right now. Speaking of which, let's see how the file system actually looks and acts like. So if I right-click on this guy and click on Run, you'll see here a small prompter, which is very much like the command line that you see on Linux. So here we have a virtual file system which is in a tree-like structure, starting with the root folder /. So this is the current working directory in my file system. The first command that we're going to support is how to create folders and files. So the folder creation command is mkdir, and the argument is going to be the name of the folder that I'm going to create. So if I say mkdir a folder, I'm going to create the folder with this name in the /root folder. Also, the ability to list the contents of the current working directory with the command ls. And if I hit ls, you'll see all the contents of the current working directory. So you'll see the name a folder and in parentheses whether it's a directory or a file. So we have files and folders. Let's go through the folder management commands first, and then we go to the file management commands as well. So speaking of folders, we can actually navigate in between folders. So with the cd, that is change directory command, I can navigate to a folder. And now I'm here in a folder. If I list it, of course it's empty. I can also mkdir a child folder. And if I list, I'm going to see it here. If I change to a child folder, I'm going to be in the a nested directory. I can also change directory upwards in the folder hierarchy. So if I say cd ... means the relative upwards, or the parent directory relative to the current directory. So if I say cd ... I'm going to navigate to the parent, a folder. I can also say, if I navigate to a child folder, I can say cd ... That means I can navigate upwards 2 levels. And then I can say, what I can do here is I can create a path that is however long. So I can say parent, which is the / folder in this case, or I can say cd a folder and a child folder, and I can get to a child folder in one command. So that is the cd command. From the cd command, the supported tokens are folder names, slashes, which are directory separators. We can also support ... and ... which is the current directory. So for example, if I say cd ... / a child folder, I'm going to navigate to this exact same folder because I'm navigating to the parent and then to itself and then to a child folder again. So the working directory is not going to change. So the cd command is going to support these various kinds of arguments. Okay, so that was the cd command. We can also remove folders. So if we were able to create folders, we're also going to be able to remove them. So if I say remove a child folder and list it again, it's not going to be here anymore. And finally, we have the pwd, which is the print working directory, which is printing the current working directory that we're in at this current moment. Because we've implemented the prompter such that it's already printing the current working directory. In this case, in this very simple application demo, is redundant, but if you want to truncate your prompter to, let's say, 20 characters, it's worth printing the current working directory if you're very deep in your virtual file system. So this command proves very useful. And if you have some Linux experience, you know that this is something that most Linux system administrators do almost by reflex. So we'll make sure to implement that as well. So that was everything related to the folder management. Let's move on to file management. Files can be created with a touch command, touch a file. And if I list, I'm going to print a file with, in parentheses, with the file type. Also, files can have contents. But before we get into content, let's demo how the remove command works for files as well. So remove, or rm, works for both files and folders. And let's create the file again. So touch a file. and list. So we have a file here. Now, files are only useful if they have content in them, right? So the way that we're going to be able to add content to a file is with the echo command. So the echo command is pretty complex in that it receives potentially multiple arguments. So if I say echo hello world, just like that, the echo command, as you know from the regular command lines, is going to print this to your standard output. That is, you're going to see it in your console. But if I say echo hello world, and then I can say this little guy, the greater than sign, which is an operator, and then I say a file, then this output is going to be redirected to this file. So if I then try to look into the file, I'm going to be able to see hello world, and the command to see the file's contents is the cat command, the cat. So if I say cat a file, I'm going to see hello world because I've just placed hello world inside this file. So this is a gentle reminder that files and folders here are purely virtual. They're like data structures in memory. So this virtual file system, it doesn't actually create files and folders on your computer. It's just a data structure in memory. And this assignment tries to exercise your data structure creation skills and immutable data structures in Scala. So back to files. So the way that we list or display the contents of a file is with the cat command. So here you see hello world. Now the echo command, like I said, is pretty complex. So if I say echo something else and redirect it to a file, then say cat a file again, I'm going to see something else, because this redirect command, this greater than sign, is going to overwrite the contents of this file no matter what's in it, even if it's empty or not. Speaking of which, the echo command also is able to create the file if it's not there. So let's say, I don't know, rock the JVM and greater than another file. Now if I list, you see a file and another file, and if I cat another file, I'm going to see rock the JVM. So you see that the echo command is complex in the sense that it creates the file if it's not there. Awesome. We're not done, because the echo command also supports append. So if I say echo some appended content, and I put this double greater than sign and say a file, this content is going to be appended. So if I cat a file, I'm going to see something else and the new content that I've just appended. So this echo command is going to be quite challenging to implement. But if we think it the right way, most of the challenges are going to go away, and that's why I'm here for. I think we're pretty much done. This is the functionality that we are going to support, and of course, most of these commands are going to have some standard fail-safes. So for example, if I try to change directory to a file is not a directory, it's a file. So the cd command is going to fail. Also, if I try to cd to, I don't know, some folder that doesn't exist, also the cd is not going to work. Okay, so that will be it. We are going to implement all these functionalities. This is quite comprehensive. I mean, even with this basic functionality, we're going to implement quite a few tricks. And yeah, starting in the next video, we're going to bootstrap a simple application, and then we're going to scaffold our code from there. Now, before I go, just a brief mention, I will attach the completed project at the end of this video and at the end of the last video in this series, just in case you have a hard time finding it. I am Daniel, and I can't wait to go through the file system homework with you right now.